Good evening, DBL. You join us here at a very secret location to do the draft for DBL 20. I am your commish, James, and I'm joined by my commish, Rory. Hello, Rory, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Been surviving lockdown and got through it all right, looking forward to doing normal things, like playing Blood Bowl and going
rolling
to the pub.
some real dice. Yeah.
Rolling some real dice.
Luxury.
Fuck you, fumble, random number generator, that's what I say.
And it's an extremely interesting time to be a Blood Bowler, right?
It is, yeah, I think it's really divided opinion, hasn't it? I think if you're looking at the new game and what's been sort of leaked and what people are seeing, on the one side you've got everyone, and on the other side you've got Lewis. So I think it's we've got some interesting times ahead, and which obviously brings us to this season, the final hurrah.
Yes, the last season for BB 2016 rules. So I think people are going to enjoy it, but everybody's got one eye on the next sort of season and what rules we're going to be looking at next season. But we're going to have fun anyway, I think, aren't we? Yeah,
I think, obviously, we've already been, a month and a half into this season on the normal terms, so I think people are just itching at the bit,
Yeah.
They're ready to play, like if you're not ready to play, then what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Why the hell are you even here, right? So let's bring it on.
Cool. Before we get started with the meat of this this preview, we're going to do a few bits of housekeeping. So firstly, playing your first matches, especially at the club, Tuesday is the first time you'll be able to do this. And we have managed to secure basically 12 spaces for 12 people, 6 games in the bar area. Excuse me. And you'll be doing this on a separate meetup than you usually would, so please don't use the regular wall meet for Tuesdays. A separate meetup will now be live as we speak, but please do not join on to this until you have secured your game with your opponent and okayed this with your governor, whoever that may be. Of course, on the meetup there will be plenty of guidelines as to what you need to bring, how you need to behave, and what the club will look like in terms of one-way systems and sanitizer and things like that. So do give that a good read. And
there's a few other things on there, isn't there? So like normally we encourage people to go down and sort of watch other people's games. Sadly, all of that's not going to be possible. Masks, make sure you're taking them with you, because you do need to be wearing your mask when you're playing. And we actually, we look forward to seeing a nice array of masks. We've got a really creative bunch in the DBL. So if any of you come in with like the standard mask, I'm not saying you're going to be frowned upon, but you're definitely going to be standing out for being
dull.
Yeah, well, yes, uninspiring maybe.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So do make sure you bring your masks down and make sure you sign up before you just jump in automatically. Sadly, we'd like, as soon as we can, sort of change it, make things a little easier, we will. But at the minute, this is the guidelines, so let's make sure we're following them.
And we might make it so that we can have a large capacity for for Blood Bowl games, but at the moment it's 6 games. We did publish on the announcements chats a list of alternative venues, so there's nothing to stop you from playing at those places, and also your own homes and whatever. Just abiding by the current government guidelines at the time. What else have we got? We've got some awards to do, actually.
Yeah, we do.
At the start of this season, much like last season, we have several coaches that are reaching their 5th season, which is certainly something to celebrate. And we just want to say thank you to these people for putting up with the DBL and being a stalwart of the community, basically. So, do you want to read out the names of the 5 individuals?
Yeah, for sure. So we'll start from the very top. We've got Alex Leopards coming back for his 5th year, a Gov now. We've also got Ollie. He's coming back. For his 5th one. Ask him about his first season. It was a beauty. He got to the semi-finals and there was no hiccups along the way. He definitely didn't cry. And also someone else who came along from Naglog at the same time as Ollie. James Fletcher, who is better known to everyone as Jimbo.
Oh, right, Jimbo.
Jimbo,
right.
Yeah, Jimbo. We all know Jimbo. Nobody knows James Fletcher. An ex-Cuck winner and a reigning conference champion. Martin is also on his 5th year.
That is a couple of accolades that I would like to have one day.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, everyone just wants to win those trophies, right?
Yeah.
And we're not saying you're a terrible Blood Bowl player, James, but you are shit.
Yes.
And then last is Sam Palmer as well, So Sam sort of rounds up our 5 for 5.
Absolutely. Congratulations to you 5, and we'll be getting some certificates your way as soon as we can put stuff in your hands, I guess. That will be soon, hopefully.
Yeah. The next thing we've got on the list is the OBBLM. Do you want to talk through this, Joe?
Yes. So it's kind of a change from last season. It is a change because we're using a new system to manage basically all the league at its tables, the way we schedule matches, and in particular, from your point of view, the way that we report the results of matches. So really, it's a case of entering the same bits of information that you were last season into a different format. It might seem a bit daunting to begin with, but it's actually very intuitive and it's very geared around to Blood Bowl rather than just being a generic sort of spreadsheet. But the important thing to remember is that your conference gov will be quite well versed in it, and if you have any trouble early on, absolutely go and ask them questions and ask them to help you. But it might mean that we're hoping eventually you'll be able to use it yourself and be fluent in it.
And it's also like the ECBBL use it as well, so some of the coaches from the ECBBL will be familiar with this, so so I'm sure that they would be more than happy to sort of help out if your gov isn't available or is otherwise indisposed for whatever reason, So,
100%, yes, yeah. Did we have one more thing? I can't remember.
No, because I think you did them in the wrong order, mate, but that's all right. So the next thing we sort of want to talk you through is what the format of the season will look like. So we've got 35 coaches this year. We salute you. And so 35 coaches. We're going to have 5 conferences, 7 players in each conference. A change from previous years. You're only going to play every single coach once. So we hear you guys saying you want more diversity in what you play.
That was what was said in the coaches survey last year, and we've tried to deliver on that by giving you more variety in terms of opponents. We probably will go the same way next year. We'll have to see how many we get and how manageable it is. But this season you'll play 6 games against 6 different opponents.
And then the other thing as well, the other big change. The other thing that we're going to announce here is the way that the second half of the season works. So obviously you'll have your league season. You'll have 6 games. Everyone plays 6 games. And then with 35 coaches, we've decided we're going to go with a 16-team DBL, which will be divided sort of like, I think we agreed it's going to be semi-seeded. So the top 8 will play the bottom 8. So 1 to 8 will play 9 to 16. And then we're also going to have a 16-team cuck. Now, the mathematicians amongst you will realise that 35 and 32, how does that go in? What we're going to bring back is the Death Bowl playoff. So the last 4 players who are finished at the bottom 4 places will have a group Death Bowl, and the winner will qualify for the cuck.
So it's death or cuck?
It is death and cuck. Both death and cuck. Yeah, so we'll be bringing that in as well. So the last time we held this, I believe it was in 2018. It was an incredible game. I think I believe Ollie, one of the girls, was telling us earlier, how much fun everyone had.
There were some shenanigans, let's say.
Yes, yeah. Like we were saying, it's like it's a coin toss, but while rolling dice. So I think that's all the pre-announcements, isn't it? So,
without further ado, we're going to move on to the main segment of this evening's proceedings, which is to draw people into conferences. But first of all, we're going to draw our conference governors, who are the people who are going to be your go-to if you have any questions or issues, and generally manage things within your conference of 7 people. So we're going to do this in order of conference, and we're going to also deviate from the way we've drawn things previously with conferences, where we're going to go conference by conference. So to start off with, I guess we start with the North. Yeah,
we're going to go like the point of the compass.
Yes.
News or naughty elephants squirt water.
Never eat shredded wheat.
Yes. Never eat shredded wheat.
So I have here the conference govs in the bowl here. And it's worth mentioning that one of our conference govs has very, very kindly said that they will act as a remote gov because they're not able to take part in the DBL, but they very much still wanted to help us run the proceedings. So that will be Andy, whoever gets them as their conference gov. So anyway, without further ado, we've got the Northern Conference, which is going to be A for Andy.
A for Andy. Look after it, man. The North never forgets.
No, I think Andy is one of those guys that will look after your legacy. I think he's going to treat it well.
He needs to. Do you know that? I've got a very special place in my heart for the North.
Absolutely. You wouldn't be able to tell, though.
I'm sure there's people out there wearing the North shirts as we speak.
Or North vests.
Yes.
If they're slightly grubby.
It is the weather for it.
Yeah,
right? It is the weather for vests rather than t-shirts. So.
That's very true.
Right, so we've got in the North, we've got Andy. Next up, will you do the honours, please, James?
So we've got never eat east.
East.
So
yeah.
Andy's not east, which
Andy's
is weird.
East, which is very.
I have to get my head around that.
Yeah.
We got number 2, who is
2 is Leopard. He's doing the rounds, right?
So he's previously been a West Gov and now has flipped over to the East.
Yeah, he's going from West to East, you know?
I mean, they're both known for being slightly weird.
They do have their own special place in our hearts, right? You know, so yeah. So Alex in the East, right? Next is South.
South, my beloved. I was where I was for 2 years.
Southern Gentleman.
We've got number 7.
Reigning champ Ewan. Yeah,
I think he'll be kind to the South.
I think he will be kind to that. Bringing goblins this year as well. So and don't forget, reigning DBL champ. Who can forget that magical day earlier this year where
it was beautiful.
It was, wasn't it?
The throw teammate.
Throw teammate goblin. It's coming back with goblins as well. So that's going to be interesting to see how he does this year.
Yes, what a lad.
Right, West is next up.
West. The one of the more controversial conferences, traditionally. Number 3.
Colin. I feel like Colin returns to the West. Has he been in the West before, or have I just completely made that up?
No, you've made that up. So Colin has previously been in the... he's been Gov of Central.
Gov Central?
And before that was in the South.
He was in the South. Yeah. Jumped in for Kike, didn't he? Yeah, so Colin, looking over the West. These are high expectations from you, Colin.
Yes.
You need to be wearing leather or spandex at all times.
Yes, sex it up somewhat.
Yeah. He's a handsome man, right?
Yeah,
you know,
he's
so
nice and tall.
I don't think sexing up is going to be a problem for someone as beautiful as that.
And finally, I think this is going to be no surprise then. We've got our last conference, which is Central. I'm just checking the numbers just to make sure we haven't fucked up, and we haven't. It's Matt.
Matt, number 4. He's going to be our Central Gov. He was Exiles Gov last year. He had a stellar job.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was easy with the two of us in it, let's be honest.
I mean, yes. Yeah, shooting fish in a barrel. But, I'm sure he's going to do an excellent job in Central, which is not the most boring division. Nobody said that.
Didn't they?
Somebody has never said that.
No one's ever said that. No, I agree with that. I agree. It's not the most boring division. Right, okay, so next we are going to go straight to drawing the names of the coaches, and we're going to start with the North. So the next 6 coaches' names that you're going to hear are all going to be in the North. So afterwards we'll do a little bit of a summary.
Is Andy North? No,
Andy's
not playing, so 7.
Oh, you're right. Yes, it is 7. It is 7. Yeah. There were the guys here. By the way, we've got Mark and Ollie here on. We've
got a whole crew.
Ugly duty, and they're pointing 7 fingers to me. So which are 7 middle fingers. I'm not quite sure how they've managed that. Mark did it on one hand. Take from that what you will.
I mean, a previous committee has various powers that we can't understand yet. So.
Right, okay, so 7 teams to draw. Do the honours. Let's give them a good mix, actually, because we don't want people thinking we're doing things...
We're taking them out of this rather fetching hat that Rory has provided.
It's the captain's hat. Right.
So who's going to be in North?
Right, here we go. So I'm going to bring my paper, because I haven't memorised the numbers.
Yeah, you write them down, we'll discuss them at the end. Number! It's the last person who signed up, it's 35.
Steve Potter, bringing back the bottom feeders.
Mr. Potter.
Cuck champion. Reigning Cuck champion.
An all-round nice guy, an underworld player.
He is underworld player. Last in, first out. Look at that.
Yes. I think he'll, he's taken his underworld team again, which everybody enjoys because of the sort of thematically named characters he has on his team. Bum Smell, for example.
Everyone loves a bit of bum smell.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're lying.
I'm not sure he's 100% a fan of the new underworld lineup, but... We'll see how he copes with it anyway.
Yeah, I think we'll see because that's going to be interesting because obviously, fewer Storm Vermin, extra Gutter Runner.
I think it's an improvement, but I mean, I like playing with Edge 4, so...
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure there's plenty of people, obviously as an elf coach, I love a bit of Edge 4, but plenty of people say you're cheating when you do so, sorry Steve, you're going to become a cheater these days. Right, second person to come into the North.
Okay, we've got number 27.
Number 27, Antonius Thomasium Kironatigi.
Turning!
He is, and he's bringing back Logan's loser linemen, but in the Chaos Pact, or the Chaos Renegade format.
A real crowd favourite here.
He is a real crowd favourite. Everyone loves the losers, right? They bring a lot of party to the DBL.
Character. Panache.
Yeah, and I feel like it's already shaping up to be an excellent division with Andy as the Gov and Steve and Tony.
Some solid guys in there.
Yeah,
you want this conference, guys? Come on.
Yeah, right. Number 3.
Okay, we've got Legs 11. Number 11.
Legs 11. Oh yes, this is James Fletcher character, Jimbo. Jimbo's bringing his cute team, isn't he?
Yeah.
I know they divide opinion. Personally, I'm a fan. Got one on the way, the Necralis, the Necromantic team. I can tell by your face you feel differently.
I don't like them.
I mean, no one's really surprised. You are the boring
I hate
right?
fun.
Yeah, you do hate fun. You know, so Jimbo on my little notepad goes in as number 3. Well, that's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Should we carry on?
Yeah, let's carry on.
Number 4.
The 4th team to be drawn, correct.
Unlucky for some, it's number 13.
Number 13, Fraser Dunn. Oh, he's bringing Dark Elves this year. No, sorry, I do apologise. I've looked at the wrong number. It's John Wood.
John, who joins us from the UU.
Reigning UU champion,
Absolutely.
I do believe. Yes. And bringing back his Khemri.
So he smashed it last year with his Khemri team. Will he bash his way to success in the DBL? Who knows?
That is going to be interesting, isn't it? He's obviously got a lot of experience with them, having spent the season playing with them in the UU. You know, so I think that's going to... I wonder... It'll be interesting to see how he actually gets on. We'll talk about it a little bit later on. But, you know, bringing back a team you've got experience with, that you've won a trophy with...
There's definitely an advantage to that.
Definitely going to come in with a lot of confidence, right?
100%.
All right. Who is going to be the 5th team? 3 more to go in this division. James cheating there.
Cheating a little bit, yeah, sorry. We got number 30, who is... Oh my gosh. It's Matt, who was his rival in the UU. And
30 or 20? 30.
30.
Oh, this time you're the one I can't read, because it's Ollie Feldman.
Oh,
100%,
shit.
right?
Yeah.
Ollie, you are number 30.
Sorry.
You are bringing humans now. So, Ollie, ECBBL.
Yes.
Right.
Second year in the DBL.
Second year in the DBL, experienced coach. Now, this is already looking like a decent league for humans. You know, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I'm well up for that. I'm really glad you made the same mistake I made. I'm not going to lie, James. You know, it shows that we're both incompetent.
I mean, it's the DBL, right? It's kind of in the description.
Right, number 6. Who's the 6th team to join us?
Okay. That's my job. We've got... me!
Number 1, James Scott. Old World Alliance now.
I like this. I'm in the north.
You are in the north.
And there's some fun people there, so this is going to be good, I think.
And by fun, I think he means teams without skills.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Okay, cool. James, let's see.
My fellow Northerners, it's going to be fun.
Has James done anything exciting? My list says he's an ex-semi. His missus is going to be disappointed with that.
I mean, my list is not comprehensive. Ex-Southern champ as well.
Ex-Southern champ as well. There we go. So
Yeah.
James there. Excellent. So we've got the reigning cup champ and an ex-Southern champ. Very nice. Right, and then the last team. Who completes our set? The Magnificent 7.
26.
Number 26. And that is Martin, better known as Gritter to everyone, bringing his lizard. Martin's going to be rubbing his lips at that. Look at that.
Right.
All right, so Gritter and lizard.
I'm sorry, Martin, I must break you.
All right, so let's give a quick rundown of teams and races that's going to be here. So we've got Steve with Underworld, Tony bringing the Chaos Pack loser lineman, Jimbo with his cute Chaos team. Don't you just love a cute team? Then you've got John with his Khemri team. You've got Ollie with his humans. Someone's gone and brought Tier 1 Old World Alliance, and that's James.
Not Tier 1.
And then Gritter with his lizards. Now, they're definitely Tier 1.
Yes.
So,
I think with every conference, we're going to look at who we think is the wild card to win, or maybe self-destruct, and who is the best person to win on paper. On paper?
can't look beyond Gritter.
Yeah.
I mean,
have to.
Yeah.
He is a Lizardman tournament coach, right?
Yeah. I mean, am I right in saying he did the podcast with Tom?
He's the expert.
He was the expert, right? I mean, you're literally, you're basically playing the expert at his own game with a race you've never played before. And
the one saving grace for us, all the rest of us in the north, is that Lizards in a short league, maybe not fantastic.
Yeah, 6 games fewer than the 8 that we had last season. Yeah, that's true. But there's a lot of the movement 8 there. It's going to be killer, right?
Yeah, I got some block and tackle though.
Yeah.
Nice.
Although no longer the fastest player in the division now. That the Underworld have got a gutter runner.
That's
going to be interesting.
Who are we going to go with for our wild card?
Wild card. Well, I love the losers, man. Right, and I believe Tony's been moving up in the ranks.
He's on the edge of greatness.
He is on the edge of greatness, right? I think for me, I'm going to go losers, right? I see that they're going to be at least in the DBL. I reckon they've got a solid shot at that.
Which means I will be in the cup.
I mean,
and I love it.
We can only hope. You know, we can only hope that
Yeah.
James will be the.
I'm
in
coming
the
for you, Cuck.
but
I want that trophy.
but not the
I want
cup
that
king.
poop trophy.
Yeah, so I think it'll be an interesting. I think the humans have got a good chance. You can't discount John with his Khemri, right? You like to say, bringing his confidence.
He knows Khemri by the sounds
You know,
of it, yeah.
and obviously the Cup King. You know, Potter is there as well. You know, so and
That's
that the only person we haven't mentioned, and I think he's probably going to really struggle. It's going to be Jimbo with his chaos. You know, like
I mean, he's basically a nothing. In this division.
He's
right?
been nothing for like 5 years, hasn't he? You know, like I'm sorry, he was something in the first season. I remember that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Let's go to what you guys are saying. We're, through each conference, we're going to rely on what you guys are reacting to, and what are the guys saying on the chat?
What's the social chat?
So we've got Kinge saying this is a brutal division.
Brutal.
Brutal division. James without AG4 question mark. We've got many people giving the lineman love. We've got someone saying Steve. Silverware for Gritter. What silverware has Gritter won in the DBL? Says Tom. Yeah, lineman at the moment.
Lineman and Lizard.
I mean-
I think we called it right.
I think we did, yeah. I mean, people want the lineman to win, right? But they think the Liz will.
Yeah, I think you got a fan favourite, and then you know it's a head and the heart question, isn't it? You know,
I've just got in my head that with the new edition that there's going to be a lineman team with all random skills, and it's going to be cheap and it's going to be fucking great.
Yeah, but you do get ahead of yourself naturally, right?
I
Because
am
that's for next season.
entirely ahead of myself.
Yeah, but this season it's normal rules.
Yes.
I say normal, I mean current rules. Right. So without further ado, let's move to Alex's division, the East.
East, traditionally the division of outcasts and weirdos.
That just tells me Alex is going to be wearing really short shorts the whole season.
All right. So for the second person in this division,
Number 2.
yeah, I mean, I can't think of any divisions where he's not going to wear short shorts and show off his genitalia. We've got number 19.
Number 19, Sam. Sam's bringing Underworld as well.
So this is Chug's man milk.
Chug's Man Milk, yeah. He's also a reigning conference champ, I do believe.
Yes, of the West that Alex was previously governed it.
Yeah, so it's got to be thinking good things. I wonder, because I'm not sure if he's an Underworld player, you know. So I wonder if
I
he's
think
going to.
he's from what I understand, he's not an old guy. He's not like us. We were too aged to compete in this game these days, really. But he is experienced through playing a lot of Blood Bowl, and I think he's got a good grasp of various different rosters, from what I understand.
Yeah, like I say, it's just interesting, isn't it? Because I think Underworld are, you know, they become a little bit more baller, but they become a little bit less bashy with their changes, right?
Yes.
You know,
So it gives them more options, I think.
yeah.
But I think the main criticism is that your team is more susceptible to disintegrating because you've not got that armor 8 to protect other players.
Yeah, that's right. And also just to take players out, right?
Yeah, I mean, you either go with the two blitzers, you had your killer and your sweeper. Maybe now you have to make some sacrifices.
Yeah, although Gutter Runner makes a decent sweeper, right?
Does make a decent sacker.
Yeah, it does make a decent sweeper. So, right, who is the third person in this league then?
All right. It is number 31.
Dan Harrington and the Barbarians are back.
So he swapped from Barbarians from his first season to Orcs in the second season, and now he's back with the Humans.
Yeah, I think
He is we haven't got this on the cheat sheet, but he's actually a Sevens champion in the DBL.
Oh, he's a Sevens champion.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You know, yeah, like I say, I like Humans, man. Like, you know, I've always
They're a
thought that
great team.
they are. You know,
Soon to
interesting.
become better as well.
Yeah, soon to become better. I mean, they've had it because they had an improvement into the last set of Blood Bowl as well with cheaper catches.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't had a human team since Ollie took a human team to the semis. You know, that's the last time a human team did.
They've not been
do well.
hugely successful.
No, they haven't. You know, but
And they're not that an easy team to play. Because you need to play that hybrid role and you react to what your opponent's doing. So not always easy.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's going to be interesting for Dan. He was a finalist in a conference a couple of years ago, in the North Conference. Me and him had a game.
Right.
Yeah. You know, so decent coach.
Respect.
Yep.
Next coach. Okay. It's going to be number 5. This is going to be.
Ah, this is Ollie.
Oh, it's Oily.
Oily Kenny.
Oily Kennedy, who is taking a Norse team this year.
Or
Super
hot-
gamey in a short league.
Or Hot Tub Fucker, as he
Hot
is.
tub
As he is known in my phone book. I mean, I did change it to Wendy House Fucker for a bit, but he told me not to because it was the best thing that ever happened to him. So
It sounds less. Hot tub sounds less threatening than Wendy House.
yeah, Wendy House does sound
Less
a bit
like it's on a
creepy.
register somewhere.
Yeah, so coming back with the Norse. I wonder if he'll be bringing his own painted models this year. Seems hard to believe.
It does. Doesn't it? Of course not.
Right, 5th team to come out in the league.
We've got number 15,
Number 15, Gav Coleman, beaten finalist last year.
Yeah, finalist. So last year, he took the opportunity to switch from his Orc team, which he has a nice custom pitch with. I understand.
Yeah, and a great name, Feyenoord, right?
And a great name.
Feyenoord. Oh, you don't know football, you won't know that.
I don't know.
It is taken from a Dutch football team known as Feyenoord. And so he's basically created some sort of pun on that word for Feyenoord.
Gotcha.
It's excellent.
So he, last year, sacrificed that team to have a bit of a swappy with Hiles.
Yeah, did really well, got to the finals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, so...
this year, we offed a swappy.
Yeah.
We didn't really explain that, did we?
No.
We had a big swap, and we let the people who took the most popular races, or anybody really, take the races that weren't yet taken. So we ended up going from about 5 shambling undead teams to 1, and we've got much more variety as a result.
Yeah, well, because there was originally 10 races not taken.
Yeah.
And so we're just down to 5. So 5 people swapped in, yeah. So
pretty good spread.
Nice. Yeah, good spread.
But anyway, he's taken the team that he wanted last year, so I'm happy for him.
Yeah. Good to see how he goes with that. Right, so who's number 6?
Ooh, I've actually ripped a bit out of your cap there.
Well, I'll be charging you for that later.
Yeah, the deposit is gone. We're at number 8. Who is our fastest sign-up?
Our fastest sign-up. Sign-up number 1, Tom Loyne, and he is also bringing Old World Alliance.
Yes.
That's a happy coincidence, isn't it?
I took a slight glance at our contrasting rosters the other day, and Loyne is starting with 2 halflings, which is a very interesting line.
I believe he's taken every single position possible.
Which is what I've done minus the halflings, because I couldn't bring myself to do it.
That's because A, you hate flings, B, you're boring, C, you're gaming, and you know what? Tom's just a better human being than you, let's be honest. You know, he's gone for every positional, which I think is the way the team's designed to be played. You know, double the chance of a thrown teammate as well. You know, like if you take out one fling, you've got another one there that can also sail through the air. And we all know how good a throw teammate is. Oh no, you don't. You hate.
You have some issues with the truth, sir.
Right. So number 7. That's already a spicy league. Look at that.
All right. I'm just going to fumble my way to unwrapping this. It's number 25.
Number 25, Paul David.
Former double final dayist and
former champ, mate. Although not bringing dwarves this year.
Interestingly, so he's been 4 years with the dwarves.
4 years? No, it must be 5 years with the dwarves, right? Because he got his 5-year award last year.
5 years with dwarves.
5 years with dwarves,
and now he's switched to humans. Can he play any other race but dwarves? Yeah. That is the question.
I mean, he is the tallest dwarf anyone has ever met. So that's for sure.
He's tougher.
You know, so that is a division. Let me just read.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're done. Let's give you a quick recap. So it starts with Alex, who's bringing Necro. Then you've got Sam with his Underworld. Then you've got Dan with humans. Then you've got Oily Kennedy with his Norse. Gav with his Orcs. Tom Loyne with his Old World Alliance. And Paul with his humans.
So there's 2 humans.
There's 2 humans.
And there's 2 teams that can get Claw. And there's Gav with his Orcs.
Yeah, there's 2 teams that start with Claw, right?
Who starts with Claw?
Norse start with Claw and Necro start with Claw.
So 3 teams that can get Claw.
Oh, mate, that is...
Gav, you picked the wrong year for Orcs.
I am going to ask you who you think your wild card is.
Repeat those names again.
Alex, Necro, Sam, Underworld, Dan, Humans, Ollie, Norse, Gav, Orcs, Tom, Old World Alliance, Paul, Humans.
I'm going to go with Alex for wildcard. Necro.
Wildcard for the wildcard Gov.
And I'm gonna suggest that Gav will be able to manoeuvre his way through all this Claw, and he'll win it.
Right, so I think I'm going to end up looking like a bit of an idiot here. But I'm going to give Ollie my wildcard. Right, very good coach. You know, starting Claw, lots of block. Yeah, I think other than I think he's got the tools to deal with the division. I think you're right. I think it's difficult to look past Gav. Given he's a sort of returning finalist.
I guess if there's lots of Claw going around, then Norse not affected by it really.
Don't really care, do they? You know, but I think like Tom's a solid player as well, right? You know, I know you've given Alex the wild card, but I also think that's a tough division to get out.
Yeah, there's some good players there.
There is. That's a like names on papers. That's a really tough division.
100%.
Yeah, right.
So the East.
That was the East.
The beast that is the East.
The beast that is the East. Right.
We're going to go over to our comments in the YouTube section.
What's the social commentary?
Yeah, we've got a couple funny replies. Dan said, me and Ollie and Loin, this is the division of tossers.
Division of tossers.
We've got Go on Loin, we've got, let's use, what's that? Yeah, Paul's back in the east. Nice.
Yeah.
He is in the east, yeah.
So where did he go from the east?
Exiles.
Yeah, he went Exiles.
Oh yeah, he was your group.
Me and him
Yeah,
played.
yeah.
Me and him played. It was
You
Exiles.
said back home in the east. Gav, in my opinion. Ollie Casey for the win.
Unsurprisingly, James Fletcher is supporting the HTFs.
The hot tub fuckers.
Hot tub fuckers. Interesting stuff there. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
There's obviously still some good coaches to come, but that is smelling like
That's
a
a
group
hard
of
one to
death.
call, that one.
That is smelling like a group of death. Yeah, glad I've avoided that one.
So, next we have
Next is South,
which is my beloved division. Used to gov it.
It's going to be Ewan.
And
You used to gov it so much, and you loved it so much that you wore your Exile shirt.
I mean, to be fair, at that point,
Do you even have your badge on? No.
shit. I've got the team that I was playing at the time.
It's so beloved.
I think during that year, though, that was the year with yes, please. That was the year where we didn't have too many T-shirts. I think the North was the only conference that had T-shirts at that point.
Because A, the North is the best. Drink up for the North, lads.
Well, yes, I will in a moment when I get drink. Yeah, the North will be the best going forward.
Right. So, from the North to the South, Ewan's division. Ah, thank you very much, mate.
Okay, so you
Brewdog
and your
IPA. Other good IPAs are available.
yes. So the number 2 for this division is going to be Dan Brooks. None other than Dan Brooks.
Dan Brooks, what number? You didn't say the number.
18,
Literally
sorry.
your one job.
18,
The Great Bowl Robbery, bringing orcs.
allegedly.
Interesting.
So he has gone with a sort of a bit of a strange orc starting lineup that includes 4 goblins,
So we've already got, potentially, starting from the first 2 players,
many goblins,
16 goblins.
Many.
Potentially already 16 goblins in this division.
too many for my liking.
I'll tell you what, dwarf players are looking at it and licking their lips already, right?
Absolutely.
If you're in this division, first skill on your blitzer, tackle.
Absolutely.
Right.
Who will be next?
Who
Take
is
advantage
next?
of all that stunty meat. Number 10.
Number 10. The Pleasure Max of Phil Gunn.
Ooh.
So I was surprised he brought them back.
Yes, because he wasn't so good with them last year, was he?
I think that's harsh. I think he had some bad dice.
Yes, and it was an incredibly hard division.
It was a very, very hard
I
division.
think there were 2 divisions of death really last year, but it was one of those 2.
Yeah.
And Pact are unpredictable and a bit shit sometimes.
Yeah, they are. But he's obviously enjoyed them enough. And, the fluff that man brings to any division is going to be incredible, right? I'm sure many of you have heard his pre-season commentary on the...
Brilliant.
Yeah, so...
Not just the written accounts, but the audio file, the MP4 that he dropped one day.
Yeah,
That
you
was
have
fun.
to say, that coach seems ready to rumble.
Absolutely, the spirit of the DBL.
Right,
Okay,
yeah,
who's
that's
next?
good to go. Number 4 for the South.
Okay, we've got number 34, our penultimate sign-up.
Number 34, Nick Coates' Jammy Dodgers.
A returning team from last
A
year.
returning team from last year, cup semi-finalists last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he'll be bringing those Zons, and is the only Zon team.
Is it?
Hoping
Yeah.
that people don't roll, don't have tackle. And thus far,
I'm telling you what, right now...
this is the division where you need some tackle.
Yeah, everyone wants some tackle in this division,
Yeah.
right? I'm fancying Tom Barnett's Dwarfs to be drawn out at some point, I'm not going to lie.
How many more have we got?
3 more to go.
3 more to go, okay.
Right, here we go. Number 5 for the South.
It's another Gov. It's going to be number 6. It's you!
Rory and Skaven. Oh, hello, boys.
So you can get some tackle pretty quickly, right? Usually, yeah.
I mean, it's all about the Storm Vermin, right?
Yeah.
Never going to put tackle on a gutter runner.
Yeah.
They've got long enough tails.
Yeah. Right, who is the next one?
Number 6.
I hope this is a 6 and not a 9. Have we done number 6 already? Yes, we have.
We have done
because that was you.
Yeah,
So
it
this
is
is
Tom
number 9.
Barnett. I called it.
Oh my god! He is in the Valley of the Blind. The one-eyed man is king.
Mate, in the Valley of the Dodge, the man that has starting tackle is king.
On a shitload of players.
Look at this, man. You've got gutter runners, you've got zons, you've got you've got goblins, and you've got 4 goblin orc teams. My God, man, that's like smack down.
Yeah.
Oh, that is brutal.
I think at this stage everybody's just breathing a sigh of relief that they only have to play him once.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like this, I enjoyed the home and away rules. I'm not going to say
there's a lot of good points to it, but I think if you want to play a lot of different teams, this can be the best way to go.
Yep, 100% right. Final team for the South.
Sorry, just fumbling with some bits of paper. We've got number 33.
Number 33, Alex McGuinness.
Oh,
and his flings. My God,
that is the division of dodge and one tackle.
Amazing. You couldn't have called this. Alex M.
And of course, Alex, it's returned to the South for him, being Southern champion and all.
He is Southern champion, semi-finalist for 2 years in a row, one of the most successful coaches we've ever had.
Only 2 coaches have reached the final stage twice.
He is only one of 2 coaches who reached the final stage twice. But
yes.
he's also he reached the final a couple of years ago.
He reached the final by beating me in a penalty shootout.
Yeah, and then last year he got to the semis, didn't he? So, right, so let's go over our quick recap. Well, what a division this is.
Well, we've gone through it already. I mean, it's like there's some dwarves, and then there's the dudes that don't want dwarves to be there.
So we've got Ewan with goblins, we've got Dan with orcs, we've got Phil and his pact, we've got Nick with zons, we've got myself, Rory with Skaven, we've got Tom Barnett with dwarves, and we've got Alex M with flings.
So as well as dwarves, you've got several teams there that start with block and then find it easy to get tackle reasonably early, I think.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really interesting league, right? You've got some really, really good coaches in here, and then you've got some coaches which are really going to struggle against Tom's dwarves. So
it's going to be horrible for them.
Yeah, it might even come down to a case of who's a dodgy team. Like Dam's orcs actually probably stand up best because they've got starting block, very easy for them to get tackle. I mean, even Dam's going to have taken blitzers, right?
Yeah.
So
Zons are in this. If he's taken 4 blitzers in the same boat.
Yeah, So I think this is interesting, right? Wild card. Who do you think your wild card is here?
I think I'm going to go with the Zons. Actually, I think Nick Coate would be a good shout with the Zons. I think he's had a decent first year. Reached his stride by the time he was getting to the Cook knockouts and got pretty far. I think he's going to do all right.
My wild card, so just so everyone at home knows, we actually did a test draw beforehand, and Alex came out in a different league, but he was my wild card last time. I think he's going to be my wild card again. I think Alex M, very good coach.
Not a bad shout because he's such a good coach.
He's such a good coach.
He might manage to get through that gauntlet.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Starting off, you've got basically 10 blocks starting out. If you exclude the dwarf, so it's not a huge amount. So I think he's definitely got a good shout there.
Are we going to pick the dwarves as the ones that should win on paper?
Oh no, I'm going to be a complete wanker and think I'm going to win this league on paper, right?
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm going to win this league on paper.
All right, there you have it, folks.
Yeah, let the true colours be shown. Like I say, I think Tom's got a decent shot. I think, like you say, dwarves are always a good team to play.
They're solid, aren't they? I mean, they get 2 dice blocks are plenty, and they've got the skills to capitalise on those blocks.
Yeah,
they will kill a lot of shit, I think.
Yeah, and I think Phil's got a shout, right? He's going to be coming back with Pact. He obviously had a rough time early.
Sorry, we should say Phil's a good coach as well.
Yeah, a very good coach.
I think with Pact, it's a bit of a gamble, isn't it? Your big guys can turn up and destroy things, or they can be a huge liability.
Yeah, well, if you think there's 1, 2, 3...
I should have gone with him with a wild card.
4,
I don't know.
4 out of 7 teams are almost 7 teams, right? You've got Goblins, you've got Zons, you've got Skaven, and you've got Flings, right? If you start rolling those powers with 3 guys who start off with Mighty Blow, it's absolute carnage, right? So yeah, I think Phil's like, you're right. He's a really, really good wild card because on his right day he's going to be leaving teams hobbled. So just hope you play him on a day when he can't roll a POW.
Absolutely.
Right.
He doesn't start with block, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What are we getting on the chat?
Well, my favourite bit was Tom saying, "I want this division," and then getting it, which was quite funny.
You're welcome, sir.
Dreams do come true. Division of dodge.
I mean, that's what the DBL is all about, making dreams come true.
rough for the unwieldy pact. Go on, Pleasure Max. Rory to win. Ewan easily because he's the champ. The Wolves to farm immense amounts of SPP. He's definitely the wild card. Pleasure Max, Nick.
How boring is that Git dwarf team going to be though? I wonder what skills they're going to choose. Whether they're going to go with the typical
guard and Mighty Blow,
yeah.
or do you go Mighty Blow and guard, or do you go guard and Mighty Blow?
Stand firm.
Stand firm.
I wonder if Tom might go a more interesting route. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, dwarves are just built for guard and Mighty Blow.
They
right?
really are.
cage it up, guard.
Tom's a fun coach, though.
Yeah.
I think he might go something slightly crazier.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, that's for sure. Right, let's go to the crazy West.
Right. Traditionally, the conference of depraved weirdos.
Rumour has it there is still a West chat back from 2017 that has got more filth in it, right, than you would find on a Hollywood porn star set, right? You know, all those casting coaches, absolutely nothing compared to what's in that chat.
There are cups full of things, and there are people, and there are things happening.
Yeah, there's definitely 2 coaches on 1 chat. And those 2 coaches...
Oh my.
Right, okay, who's going to be... So this is Colin's league. Colin's bringing the Pro Elves, or the Elves Union.
Yes, which he brought in 2018.
And he did, yeah. He loves elves.
Yes.
Hates high elves for some reason.
That's weird. I think we're going to look into this. You think you need to play high elves next year?
To complete the set, yeah.
Exactly.
Right, who's
if they still exist. We've got number 14 up first.
Number 14, Fraser Dunn, coming with the Dark Elves.
So Fraser is a semi-finalist from last year who couldn't make it to the final, unfortunately.
He couldn't.
So Mark took his place, but he managed to knock me out in the quarters and get there anyway, so fair play to him. So he is playing Dark Elves this year, right?
Yeah, already 2. I mean, we don't have that many elf teams, but we've already got 2 in 1 division.
Yes, and he swapped from Undead to Dark Elves, so gamey to gamey.
Yeah, I think Dark Elves are probably better, aren't they? Like, you know, they're definitely one of the top 3 teams, you know.
In this league, in a short league, both are pretty good, right? But Undead are particularly good to start off with, aren't they? Dark Elves sometimes, because they're expensive and they're difficult to pay for initially, maybe they don't start as well.
You just dodge away in a 2+ and everything's fine,
okay,
right?
Fine. Who's next?
Number
It's
3.
Number 21.
Number 21, Matt Cook and his Skaven.
So the Sumptown Scumbags took
back.
a break last year, but they are back, yes.
They are back.
So former Eastern champ, I believe.
He is, yeah. This is already shaping up to be a dodgy league. Look at this.
Yes.
If you don't have Edge 4, you're going to struggle in this league, right?
Dodging all over the place.
Yeah, dodging all over the place. I fancy the High Elves to come out here as well.
Who have we got next? Number 32.
Number 32, Aaron and more Dark Elves.
So, Aaron, who was our first reserve actually, very, very kindly replaced one of our coaches that unfortunately had to drop out. He is bringing back his classic team into Your Man.
I mean, this guy really is a full kit wanker. Let's not be around the bush.
You will see this. It's a lovely kit, but yes, he wears all of it.
I also believe there's a couple of things here. First, I believe he's in the West every year, right? Except for 1 year, I think he was in the North.
Oh, good God.
But the other thing is, he is the purveyor of
Paul?
2 coaches, 1 chat. I am sure that this chat is going to be full.
He'll like the fact that he's back in the West.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Filthy West boy. Look at this. 3 elves and some gutter runner Skaven. Interesting division already, right?
Have we got any more?
We do. We have 3 more to go.
Then I shall draw things out of this hat. Right. We've got number 12.
Number 12, Chris Connolly and the High Elves.
Our only high up team. So Chris very kindly swapped from, I think, Orcs maybe, or it was Orcs or Undead anyway, to playing High Elves with Kings of Skelpie Bomb Mountain.
I believe he's another ex-UUer.
He's a UU graduate, yes.
Yeah, so Newtown. I wonder, he's going to get a hazing from Aaron, that's for sure.
A spanking.
Yeah,
yes.
Look at this. There's always a League of Elves, isn't there? Every year we get a League of Elves.
Not I think last year was the year that we didn't because there was such a backlash from the Year of Elves.
But don't forget, we've only got like 5 elf teams and 4 of them are in the same division.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy, right?
Yeah,
that's like they're drawn to each other. At least everyone's cheating in this league, so it kind of doesn't matter. It's like having the drug Olympics, right?
Yeah.
If everyone's on drugs, it doesn't matter.
Yes. Whoever's got the best drugs, I guess.
A little bit like Tour de France between 2000 and 2010.
Let's move on. Who's next?
2 more to go. Who's next up?
Number 29.
Matt Goodall and the Slan.
Oh, so that is the other UU finalist. And again, another experienced coach who's going to be playing the same team as he did last season, so he's going to be well in the swing of things.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
good to have a Slan team, right?
It's good to have a Slan team.
I don't think we did. The Gits were a Slan team last year.
Yeah, Slippery Gits was Slan team last year.
Before that, I'm not sure, but 17 was a big year for the Slan when they got to the when Jerome took them to the semi-finals.
Got to the final. Got to the final. Yeah. This is interesting. I think the Slan struggle in this team. We'll talk about that shortly. But again, another team that has potentially 4 starting Edge 4 as well. You know,
Potentially.
Yeah,
Is the big word.
Yeah, but that makes an interesting league. Right, with the final team that make up the set. Who do you want to go here? You want some dwarves, don't you? Just go in and smash face.
Have we got another dwarf?
We do. Dan Payne's dwarves. Look at that face.
It's not dwarves,
What-
it is a bash team. It's number 22. We've got Heather and the Porks.
The Porcupines. Is this a cute team?
It is a cute
I
team.
love a cute team.
100%
Have I said that
cute team.
before? Have you said you hate them? I feel like we're
I
but,
do not like them. No.
Heather and O'Rourke's. I mean, she's going to have some smash face here. You know?
Yeah.
There's not a whole heap of armor 7 is the only thing I'd say.
But, I mean, if you've got some starting block facing a team like High Elves, for example, that hasn't got much block, it's always pretty decent.
And it's pretty easy to get up to tackle. I think this will be a tough league. So if we go through our
run through them again.
quick
We'll go
Rory's
through
recap. So we've got Colin playing Pro Elves Union, whichever your flavour is. We've got Fraser with the Dirty Elves. We've got Matt with the Skaven. We've got Aaron also with Dirty Elves. We've got Chris with the High Elves. We've got Matt with the Slan. And we've got Heather with the Orcs.
I've got it.
Go on then.
Matt with the slam for wildcard.
Matt with the Slan, that is... Considering every other team has plenty of starting skills and they don't, that's why
it's the wild card.
That is a wild card of wild cards.
Yeah.
Who do I think's the wild card here? I reckon. Well, I was going to say Fraser, but I think as a coach is the wild card, but as a race it's too easy, right? So in that case, I'm going to go Heather with her Orcs, right? I think having a bit of armor 9 and keeping your players on the field against other people, lots of starting skills. You'll struggle with Edge 4, and I think tackle. You know, I know lots of people talk about the European tackle and taking frenzy, but I think tackle is going to be important because you're going to face a lot of dodge in this.
Absolutely.
League.
And Heather's, I've faced Heather's Orcs before, and she's very good with them. I think she'll be solid.
Excellent. Well, no, this is going to be a tough one.
I'm going to go with Fraser.
Fraser to win it. That's a shout.
He's so not only did he knock me out in last year's quarterfinals, he was we've just had our PS4 league conclude, which was a 16-game league, and he was in the deciding match. He was number 2 in the league.
Interesting.
So he's covered himself in glory anyway. So
I am going to go for someone else who's actually covered themselves in glory in the past. I'm going to go for Matt and his Skaven. I think he's a very good Skaven coach. He's won a conference before.
Very true.
So that's my pick. Like I said, I think this is going to be a tough league, man. You know, playing against loads of Edge 4 is always tough because everyone you base them and they just dodge away, right?
They fuck off, yeah.
You know, and then all of a sudden they're gone. And there's lots of quick players there as well. You know. I think that's where the Orcs might struggle. Let's go to our social chat. What are the people saying?
Firstly, Drug Olympics. Is it the end of Slam? Question mark. No, I hope not. Last season of playable Slam. We've got 2 cute teams in this division, apparently.
What's the other cute team?
I don't know. Slam are great. Fraser to win the division. Matt likes being called wild card. Go Orcs, says Martin, and Slam for the win.
Very interesting.
West.
Right, so if you've actually been following and crossing stuff off, I know Aaron has. I've seen his spreadsheet. That man is gifted with Excel, as well as porn. So he'll know the last 7 coaches, but we are not quite so organised. I haven't even been crossing them off my sheet, so I've got no idea.
Let's draw them to make sure
draw
we've
them
got our
anyway,
shit right.
100%.
Anyway. So we've got our central division, which is our final division.
Yeah, Matt Wallace is going to be commissioned. He's bringing Skaven as well. Doity Rats.
We've got number 23.
Number 23, Dan Payne and the Dwarves.
Oof. Tackle in spades.
Yeah, tackle in spades. And he's also a regular dwarf player now. He started off elsewhere, but he's been playing dwarves for a couple of seasons now.
Yes,
You know? So,
I played him a long time ago when he was playing dwarves.
Yeah, he played dwarves a few years ago.
Yes.
But he's a solid dwarf player, so this is going to be interesting.
Next one up is number 20.
So number 20,
former Cup champ,
and exiled champ is Martin. Martin, and he's bringing the underworld this year. So that's quite a change, isn't it?
Yes, the loss under Angeles Fakers. He's basically bodged the logo of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Ah, very nice. The underworld as well. That's going to be interesting because if you look at his coaching before, he's did Orcs for a very long time. We heard a bit of love from him for the Orcs earlier. He's obviously got some goblins. Obviously loves that.
Yeah.
2-headed goblins this time though. But last year he did very well with the Necro. He had that beast
claw.
As
soon as he gets claw, son of a bitch.
That pink troll, man. Like pink troll. That's from Fumble, guys. The Underworld troll is always pink.
Well, I think with Underworld, it's going to be a case of either Underworld players crying because their gutter runner died, or because players have had their players MNG'd by gutter runners who have been built as killers and have weeping daggered people. There's going to be lots of crying.
I mean, like, it's a crying game, some might say. Right. So who's the fourth team in this league?
Number 16.
Number 16, Dan T and the Chorfs. Oh,
Chorfs.
That is going to be,
So Dan was another guy that was playing undead but had a bit of a swap.
Yeah, good man. Like, everyone who swapped away to a new team and you didn't do your first choice. So much love for you guys, man.
Yeah,
you help us keep us diverse, you know.
I mean, it has to be said that those players often went from one gaming team to another, but who cares?
Dan T was Lizard's last year, wasn't he? He was in that group of death, right?
Yes.
It was Dan, Phil, Gav, and Alex McGuinness. And Jack Silby.
Heck of a division.
I mean, you won't be surprised to hear that Jack actually finished last in that league, but ended up being a cuck finalist. So,
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so excellent. That's already, so you've got a couple of dwarf teams and a couple of dodgy teams. Very interesting. Right, who's the fifth team?
We've got 28.
28 is Sam Palmer and the return of bringing back the dedicated few.
So we start with 5 undead teams before the swap, and now we've only got 1. And it's not the only guy that's ever taken undead in the DBL, but one of 2 people that have ever taken undead in the DBL.
Mel's the other.
Necromantic. Jimbo's the other.
Jimbo's. Semi-finalist Jimbo. The Black Goblin. We love that Black Goblin.
We love him. He's been reduced in price, you know.
Has he?
Yeah, in the new ed.
Black Goblins for everyone!
I think, although, you know, that's subject to DBL approval, we might have to reduce the price further because it seems...
Yeah, Sam Palmer is undead. He had a couple of years ago, he had some monster mummies. I seem to recall both of them getting blocked very early on.
I think his was the team with the monster white, wasn't it? When they both got like adjuncts.
Yeah.
It was weird.
He's had some good teams, man. He had one season on Dwarves. I remember watching, I'm not going to lie, him and Mark, the original commish, played the most boring game ever over in
Nurgle Dwarves.
Nurgle Dwarves, man. Whoa. My God, I think both of them wanted to shoot themselves in the head. Never mind me commentating. But yeah, it's good to see Sam back on his undead. He does love them. So right, who's the 6th person? There should only be 2 left in there. There is only 2 left in there.
It's working out. We haven't completely fluffed it. Number 17
is Lewis
Mullen, who is playing the amazing Cornflakes.
He's playing the Cornflakes,
which unsurprisingly is a corn team. Our only corn team. We've not had more than one corn team per year. I think our first team might have been last year, actually. But yeah.
No. We had someone a couple of years ago. Did Matt play them a couple of years ago? He did. Yes, he did.
So we've had one corn team for the last 3 years, basically.
Yeah, very nice.
So he's going to be looking to crack some skulls with that Bloodthirster.
Yeah, and my quick math is, I can tell you what that's going to be. It's going to be number 24, Jack Payne and the Crystal Collations Pro Elves.
Our second Pro Elf team.
Second Pro Elf team, yeah, one of 2. Obviously the other one's in the other league. This is a really interesting mix of bash and dodge, right? So, quick Rory's recap. We've got Matt leading the division, or looking after it for us from the Gov perspective, with Skaven. You've got Dan Payne with the Dwarfs. You've got Martin with the Underworld. You've got Dan T with the Chorfs. You've got Sam Palmer with his Undead. You've got Lewis M. With his Corn, and then you've got Jack Payne brothers in the same division with the Pro Elves, or the Pro Elf Union.
There's 2 Paynes in that division.
There are 2
The Payne train has left the station.
And you know, at least one of them will be bringing Payne for sure, you know.
Yeah.
You've got one's bringing Payne and the other's bringing dodging. Interesting, this is an interesting league. So, wild cards.
I think I'm going to go with Lewis M for my wild card. If he can keep that frenzy under control, if he can keep the hate in check.
I mean, like, this might be his last ever season of Blood Bowl, given how much he hates the new edition.
I mean, he's not playing next season, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he wants to go out with a bang.
He hates it.
I'm going to go wild card. I'm going to go Martin on the Underworld, right?
That was my second choice.
Yeah, I think Martin with the Underworld.
Choice,
like my second choice was Jack. I think in a league without much Edge 4, having Edge 4 is quite useful. But I'm going to go Martin with the Underworld. I do think I'm just interested in the Underworld roster. I'd be interested to see how it plays, because it's less about smacking people and getting goblins places they don't want to be now, and I think it's got to be a little bit more finesse.
Yes.
And then to win it,
I think I might go with Dan T and the Chorps.
Yeah, I don't think you can look past Dan T and his Chorps.
Solid tournament player.
Yeah, solid coach, solid tournament player.
Yeah, he performed really well last year, and Chorps are an excellent team. He changed from, I'm going to say Undead. Yeah, it was Undead. It's Chorps. And I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, I think he'll do well. I think it's a rough league, for some people. I think like Matt Skaven are really going to struggle in this league, right? There's loads of
Skaven with dodge and the pro elves that want dodge. It's going to be tricky playing against the Chaos Dwarfs, for example,
and the dwarves from Dan Payne, and
exactly.
And obviously Sam Palmer's Undead. You can imagine those whites are going to be getting tackled pretty sharpish as well.
First one which should get tackled,
yeah,
I think.
So I think it's going to be tough. Yeah, I think it's a tough league. So guys, that is the draw for the DBL. Can you believe it? That is DBL 20, a stunted DBL, even if not a stunty DBL. Going to be a little bit shorter, going to be a little bit sweeter, hopefully. So
yes.
And so before we do that, let's go to the comments. What's people saying about the Central League over there, guys?
So we've got Bring the Pain, Max Payne. Coming in for the Pain, guys. Cornflakes, Wildcard Corn. Will be Pain.
There will be Pain.
to win, Flakes for Wildcard. Corpse to win again, Corn for Wildcard. Martin coming in with Zombies. Bugman's to win. Corpse to win. Stupid Corpse, apparently. Dan T going to win. Going to go full raging all over everyone's asses. There you go.
Yeah, I think that's I think it's interesting. I think looking at the different leagues, this is probably the one where I think, and not to curse you or anything, Dan, but I think you should win this hands down, right? Given the racers and the coaches, and the race and his ability, I think he should win this league hands down, right?
No pressure.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if we can't speculate wildly here, then where can we speculate wildly, right? If you look at the other divisions, you're looking at, you're looking across them.
Speaking of those divisions, are we going to maybe look at? Did you record our top choices, etc.? Maybe we could look at who we think is going to go all the distance.
Who's going to go the distance? Well, I didn't, but we can just make it up as we go.
We can make it up, yeah.
So who do we think? So the people.
So we're looking at maybe for our top picks. Let's have a look. Dan.
All right, so we've got Dan T's one pick. We've got Fraser and Matt C. We've both picked. I've naturally been a complete wanker and picked myself. And you've picked Nick in the south. In the east, is this a tough one? This is the tough one. I think we've both picked Gav actually here. Gav and his Orcs. Although I did give a shout out to Tom with the Old World Alliance. I do think they're a good team, and I'm interested to see his build.
They're all right.
Yeah, and then who have we got here? Oh, we've got Gritter in his Lizards, right?
Yeah, well, that fucker.
So who do you think goes all the way?
I mean, I think if Gav doesn't get 2 mauled by Claw, and you can avoid, there's ways and means of avoiding being clawed to death. Maybe him, maybe Gritter.
I'm going to call it right here. I'm going to say the final 4. I mean, this is ridiculous to even contemplate.
It kind of depends on our knockout tree as well, doesn't it? Right.
Well, on the final 4, I tell you who I think are going to be the final 2. I think Gritter and Dan are going to be the final 2. All right.
I'd say that they're good shouts.
I think that just looking at their leagues, I think they've both got chance to get SPPs there, right? Who the other people that make up the final 4, I've got no idea. I'm not that much of a wanker that I think myself's going to be there. I think Fraser and Matt have both got a really good shout. I think Gav's obviously got a really good shout. So I think it's let's say I'll go with Matt because I picked him to pick the league. So Matt, Gav, Gritter, and Dan are going to be my final 4. I'm going to write these down. Rory's predictions. This is the bit where you look stupid at the end of the season. We will look back
in about January.
So we've got
when hopefully this league will have concluded. I mean, it's worth just saying at this point that we really hope that we'll be able to continue this league and to the conclusion. But depending on the situation, we may have to pause things. And the sad thing may be that if we have to pause for too long, we might have to cancel it. But we're going to give it our best fucking shot, right?
Yeah, well, let this guy give you the bad news. I will give you some other more interesting news. So, everyone's got 6 games to play. The end of the season is the 11th of October. That's a Sunday. So make sure you've played your games by then. We will, of course, give you reminders.
That's 8 weeks away.
Yeah, that's 8 weeks away. You've got 8 weeks to play 6 games. It should be, we believe it's feasible. If you are struggling, get in touch with your Gov, get in touch with myself or James, let us know.
You know who they are at this point. They're your first point of contact. If they don't answer immediately and it's urgent, give us a shout.
The other thing we should say is the divisional chats are all being created as we speak as well. So you should be in your chats with your various divisions.
Yes, Ewan should have put you in there by now.
And so, so feel free to start organising games.
Absolutely. So yes,
Championships.
organise your games. Make sure that they are fully organised before you book yourself into Tuesday nights. Going beyond that, obviously we've got Mondays and Tuesdays, so there's going to be a bit more availability. But try and make. It's absolutely essential to make your gov aware of when you're making a match. It's also a little bit down to your gov, depending on their style and on how the division is going, what availability is like. They might want to do different things with regards to matching up. I know, for example, we've done in the past previously where we've done like random matchups, but it really depends on their style and everybody's availability and things like that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, we've normally encouraged people to play at the club, but actually on this occasion we'd probably encourage you to play away from the club just for numbers purposes.
The club is our home, and we want to have a decent present there on Mondays and Tuesdays. But yeah, it's going to be tricky. So there's a list that Ewan published that are good places to play. In the meantime,
and the other thing is, if you find somewhere good to play, let us know, because we'll add it to the list.
Absolutely.
We're more than happy to add it to the list. So
I'm always looking for places where I can play Blood Bowl, where I will get my head kicked in.
I mean, I think that's most places. We don't.
It's me.
Fair shout.
Yeah.
And then I suppose the other bit of sort of like housekeeping is just to let you know that we will decide in terms of second draw and second draft night, so on and so forth, further down the line. We're keeping an open mind at the moment as to how that's going to look.
It's roughly speaking going to be towards the end of October, second draft night, and it's going to be. I mean, it really depends on the situation, doesn't it? We'd love to have an IRL draft night where we
in real life for people who are normal and
not
know what
nerds.
IRL means.
And have Death Bowl, which has become a bit of a tradition. We had 5 Death Bowl tables going last year.
We might even have. No, we wouldn't have to do that. I was going to say we might even have the Death Bowl playoff there, but I don't think I suppose we'll be able to do it unless we did like the Death Bowl winner is the other draw, right? But,
right. Okay.
Yeah, So we would love to organise something like that. We don't really know how it's going to work and if it's going to happen, but we will just keep you posted. We'll stay in touch.
Yeah. I think the only other thing we haven't mentioned so far, and maybe isn't in the rules pack so much, is that because we've gone with a structure where we've got no Division A and Division B, the conference champs will still be a thing. So you'll still, if you are the best in your conference, you will still get to keep the historic and sacred trophy for that region for the year. But the way you are awarded it is different. So previously it would be the winner of Group A and the winner of Group B face off in a resurrection match. This year it's going to be, by the time the league is finished and the points are all totted up, the top scoring and the next top scoring coach will face off in a resurrection match.
Or in normal terms, first and second. We'll play each other in a resurrection match.
Yes. Potato.
Yeah. Cool. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you all in real life.
See you soon.